Hey guys, in this video I will be launching one of our clients' projects. This is going to be a complete breakdown from the start of the project when we are onboarding a new client to cash collected, the money, and achieving the goal that we have set for this campaign. First, a few words about our new client. We onboarded him a few days ago on Friday. Right now, this is Monday. And if you ever been researching the AI space on YouTube, if you ever been interested in the voice AI agents, into the N8N agents, I can almost guarantee that you have seen his face and you know his videos. We will not be revealing his identity, but I will be sharing everything else. I'll be sharing the results, I'll be sharing the posts, and I'll be showing you everything that takes place for the launch. He has 33,000 subscribers on the YouTube, more than 8,000 subscribers on LinkedIn. He has a free school community with over 20,000 members, and he also have a newsletter with 19,000, almost 20,000 subscribers that are having an average open rate of 20%. These are the criteria that we begin with. The offer that he's launching is a low ticket product for $30 to $100 per month price. The reason why there is a range is because he still haven't decided on what the price should be and what the offer should be. He's also looking to have a high ticket upsell for $1,000 to $2,000 to collect more revenue upfront. And this is what we will be helping him to do besides the entire launch, is to figure out the offer. And I will list the problems that we are intended to fix later in the video. But this is yet to be decided. Again, in future videos, this video will be combined from multiple videos. You will, of course, learn what we came up with. So our plan is to cash collect $50,000 in the next 2 months after the launch. The reason being is because for the high ticket, it's going to take some time to collect the money. Some people will be thinking after the sales calls, but the majority will just take time to receive the payments, especially because we're going to be offering the payment plans. Even though this is a very low price on the high ticket standpoint for just general high ticket offers, we're working with the clients who are charging $10,000 upfront for their clients, and we charge $5,000 to $10,000 for our own services. So this is not like a standardized high ticket, but because this is compared side by side to his low ticket offer, you cannot actually go beyond. You can launch a separate high ticket offer, and we will probably do this for him in future, but this is the plan that we're having. This is why it might take a few months to collect all the money that we're planning up. Plus, of course, because this is a subscription model, people will be paying month over month. Now, of course, on the month 3, month 4, month 5, it's going to be more and more money, even if you're not going to attract more clients, even if you are having the 15 to 30% churn. But the target is $50,000 in 2 months. And in this video, I will be explaining how we are going to achieve that. And at the end, of course, I will report how everything went. So what was his original plan for the launch? Again, he still haven't figured out the exact offer. We'll be helping him with this, but he already had a plan. The plan was to simply create a wait list. The wait list where people would subscribe, wait for the launch, then he would send the email, hey, we're live, please buy. A very, very straightforward type of the launch. I wouldn't even call it a funnel because there is no funnel here. The plan to create the demand was to make a YouTube video about that, post a link under this video, also have 1 or 2 email newsletters and messages sent to all the subscribers, all the 20,000 subscribers, and get some people with the 20% open rate, and also make a post on LinkedIn. This was the original plan. That's pretty much it. No funnel, no proper demand generation, no proper structure. The reason why we started the partnership and where we come in is we are here to fix 3 problems. Problem number 1, convert organic audience to the buyers. Again, the majority of our clients do not have a solid organic audience. Usually these are the people who are in the B2B space, so even if they have an audience, the audience is smaller, much smaller than the client that I'm talking about has. So on the mechanism for the traffic generation, we are using the cold outreach, we are using the paid ads, we are utilizing the network, we are utilizing the referrals. I will explain the traffic mechanisms that we will be using for this client because we still need to convert organic audience to the buyers and reach audience besides the organic, because some of the pieces of the content that you post, like the YouTube, like the LinkedIn, can go above your static audience. So you would also want to maximize the value of the pieces of the content that you post before the launch so that they can reach a wider audience. Plus, the third goal is to differentiate our offer on the crowded market, because this is the offer in the AI space. Everyone is going into the AI, and the goal here is to make it unique, to make the unique low ticket value proposition, and also create a way for the high ticket value add-on that will of course align to everything that he is proposing in his low ticket offer. When we are launching any campaign, any client, we are following the same framework. The first thing that you need to understand is that the funnel runs the business, right? And Russell Brunson being teaching people this for over 10 years now, is that you must have a funnel if you are selling a high ticket product, right? So high ticket product. Now, of course, you can say that even the low ticket products, even the e-com brands having their own funnels, and this is true, but their funnels is a bit different. When you're selling the high ticket, it is not only the demand generation. Sure, you can get the traffic and then you can technically close people. Now, the only way for this to work without any actions in the middle is if you are having the agency services, if you're providing some crazy guarantees, if you are delivering something that is very straightforward, aka like an e-commerce product or like a plumbing service. It's either, hey, I can do this, this is the price. You want this or not? Now, this price can be a low ticket, or this could be multiple thousands of dollars, but it's just a straightforward value add-on. When you are in the info space selling information or selling agency services, so if you're in the info, and of course, the agency services is not really the info, but let's put it here, or let's say courses, coaching. When you are here, you need to have a funnel. And yes, you can argue and say, hey, Eugene, but is maybe like the agency can also be classified as a simple value add-on. So the company comes in and you deliver a straight outcome with a guarantee. You're saying, hey, we can get you 10 new leads the next month, and it's going to cost you X amount of money. If we don't, you're gonna refund. You can get your money back. Now, even here, it's not as straightforward as buying a water bottle, because like, what is the qualified lead? Are you having criteria for the qualified lead? Okay, so how do you value these criteria? Or is it filling the form? What if they don't fill out the form with the correct information? So there are so much that comes into understanding what is a super straightforward agency offer with a certain deliverables, but there are some, right? So for example, like the website. Hey, do you need the website? Yes. Here's how much it's gonna cost. But even here, when you're delivering the website, there are a lot of the moving pieces. So without any proper funnel, it is very hard for you to close the high ticket deals if you're doing the agency or if you are doing the information. Now, maybe this is super obvious. Sorry for wasting your time if you know this information. But the thing is that there are a lot of the funnel pieces, right? Funnel types. So you can have, let's say, funnels. You can have a double opt-in funnels, right? Which are funnels that have multiple steps to the booking, okay? Double opt-in. You can have a low ticket funnels. When you are launching a low ticket product, people are buying it and then they are buying your high ticket. Now you can have a freebie type of the funnel, usually for example, freebie for a newsletter, right? So meaning you're having a newsletter funnel where you are, advertising, hey people, we are having this magic calculator that can help you to calculate the ROI on the, if you're using, AI agents in your business, something like that, because this is an example because we're working with the AI right now. And now people are giving you the email, they are receiving the calculator, and they come to your newsletter, and then you're starting to nurture them down. You can have a course funnel, right? So now, of course, the course and low ticket is somewhat similar, but the difference here is that you are selling the information as a course, usually a higher ticket, $500 to $1,000 to $2,000, and then you are upselling people your something high ticket, maybe done for you, or maybe the coaching for, like $10,000 or something. But the funnel that we are using, that our clients found the most success in is the live events funnel, okay? And these are basically the educational funnels where you are running a live event, like a workshop, like the webinar, like the challenge, make people aware of what you have to sell, then educating them on the value, building the connection between you and your potential prospect, and then selling your, again, either the done for you or the coaching. We created a system called self-selling webinar, which is basically a mechanism that allows all of our clients and us, because we're using it ourselves. I talked multiple times a lot on my YouTube channel about this mechanism and how we are using it. It allows you and everyone who's using it to get the high intent leads on the first place for the live event, educate, nurture, and make them excited for the event, have a proper follow-up and conversion mechanism before and after event, having a perfect presentation with the right script, and having the right roll-up and reactivation sequences. So this is what we proposed to do for this client. Instead of him just doing a wait list, we proposed him to do the launch through our self-selling webinar method. And our method has a framework of 10 steps. These steps are pretty much static. It doesn't matter the type of the live event that you're running, because like webinar, challenge, workshop, these are just the marketing terms. It's basically like a live event. If you want to run a successful live event right now in 2026, you must follow all of these steps one by one. If you miss any of the steps, you're done, you're cooked. The reason being is because it is very hard right now to make people committed for 1 or 2 hours live to consume information from you, to pay attention to what you have to say, so that then you can easily sell your products. Because of this short-term, whatever, attention economy, spam, whatever it's called, of people listening like and scrolling to TikToks. And you may think that, oh, but the short attention spam is more relevant to the teenagers who are, sitting in the Instagram Reels and the TikToks or the YouTube Shorts, but it's not. This is just how our world is built right now. The time is super valuable. Like, the time is the most valuable asset that all of us has. So this is why one of the biggest challenges with the live events is to make people not just show up, but show up committed to learn and pay attention. And this is why you cannot miss any of these steps. And each of the steps must be executed correctly. Now, I'll give you the overview of all these steps right now. And of course, later down the video, I will be showing you what we will be doing for this specific client and the pieces of the puzzle that we are bringing to the table. First is the traffic. So this is how you are getting the traffic to your funnel, to your live event. Landing. This is how you convert this traffic to the sign up. Then there are 3 similar steps: engagement, nurturing, and excitement. These steps are handled by our AI reps. We have the most human AI reps on the market right now. I've been recording a lot of the videos on my YouTube about them. You can take a look. So less than 0.1% notice that it's not a human. This is why it's very important, because when people signed up, we are doing an engagement. We're doing the omni-channel engagement across multiple channels. We're doing the SMS or the iMessage, depending on the country. We're doing the WhatsApp, again, depending on the country, but even if it's the US audience that doesn't really use the WhatsApp, we still do that. We are doing the email engagement, and we are making the phone calls. So this is all the things that we do on this stage first by engaging with them. And then these AI reps nurture people through the right questions, showing them why they made a good decision by signing up to the live event and positioning the live event as the answer to the problems that they're having through the natural conversation. And after this step is making them excited, reconfirming. Are you going to show up? Are you excited? It's gonna be fire. All of these things, you might seem that it's funny, it's something cute, or you don't need it. You need this. You need the commitment. If the person says, I will show up, I'm telling you, I've planned that. Of course, it's not guaranteed. But on the mental side, he will remember that. He remembers that there is some sort of a commitment, not just by providing his email on the sign up. So these are the 3 stages that follow traffic and the landing. The next is the follow-up. So this is a proper sequence of how to follow up with people in a way to educate. So these phases usually go side by side, right? So these phases can take, multiple days because, of course, people are replying in different paces. And the follow-up is just a sequence before the webinar or the live event that we're sending, that first obviously follows up and reminding, hey, your webinar is in 4 days, hey, your webinar is in 2 hours, hey, webinar is starting, all these things. But it also educates people on what you will be presenting and slightly pre-selling and slightly reframing that you have a paid solution that will fix their problem, so they kind of already understand on what problems you are fixing in general. Then, after the follow-up, obviously, there is like a live event, and we call this phase a performance. This is how our clients perform on the webinar. And it's specifically called performance because it is performance. You need to put the right energy. You need to have the right slides. You need to have the right script. You need to make people want to watch. Stick till the end, till the conversion. The conversion is how you are converting the traffic who showed up to your event to the sales call. Now, in our case, for this client, because we are running 2 offers, the low ticket and the higher ticket, we will be having 2 conversion mechanisms. So we will be having a low ticket offer straight buying. So it's going to be a link on the webinar to buy. And also the second link will be to book an appointment with a closer to be closed for a high ticket deal. And then there is a reactivation. Reactivation because, again, we collected all the people who are interested. Maybe they are not in a good position right now to proceed. Maybe they are still looking for more information. So we will keep on top of them usually for 30 days to extract the most amount of value. So these are all the 10 steps that you need to follow to make your live event work. Now, I would want us to brainstorm together on how we would be doing this for this specific client. Look, again, as I said, we onboarded this client a few days ago. Later today, we are having a meeting with our team where we will be analyzing everything that we have and creating the plan. I will be showing you after this phase of the video, I'll be showing you the onboarding sequence that we're using, how we're onboarding the client, how we're using the ClickUp, how we're getting all the information in, because I'm pretty sure you're interested in that. And then later in the video, I will be showing you what we decided. But at this stage, I want to brainstorm together how we will be executing all of these stages based on our experience with other clients, okay? Now, when it comes to the YouTube, because all of the traffic that we are getting comes from the organic reach. Unfortunately, because he does have a lot of the school subscribers, you could potentially have a pixel installed on your page, and you could easily retarget these people with the ads to make them aware of the live event. The same thing you could do on the newsletter. Unfortunately, he didn't do that. So the traffic here can only be organic. If he would have the pixels installed, we would use the paid, but still to just the retargeting. There is no need for us to go and find other people outside of his network through the paid ads. We will be doing this with the videos and with the posts. I will explain how, but not through the paid ads and not through the outreach, okay? Now, when it comes to, let's go channel by channel. So the YouTube, on the YouTube, we'll be having actually 3 mechanisms, which is the video, the links, and the posts. So let me explain. The video is pretty straightforward. So he will post a video specifically not designed to announce the event, because this is probably not gonna get too many views. He'll be posting his the video that he was planning to post, which is great, delivers enormous value that can get a higher reach. And in the middle and in the end of this video, we'll mention the actual event, saying that, hey, guys, you can sign up with the link below. Then we are having the links replaced across all of his videos on his YouTube channel. He has more than 300 videos on his YouTube. He's been posting content for over 3 years. Can you imagine how many views he has on a daily basis from these old videos that have all links, okay? So it is very underrated channel for everyone to utilize, because people are not thinking this way. People are thinking that, hey, okay, I am going to be just posting a video and then having a link, but they forget about all the previous work that they are doing. So this is what we're going to be implementing. So 1 is the video with a link with a call out. 2, replacing all of the links across all of his YouTube videos. Then the post. Now, YouTube post is a kind of, it's a questionable mechanism because they're not getting too many views and too big of a reach if you're not doing them correctly. Meaning, so you can make a post, and if people are constantly watching your videos, they will see the post on their feed about what you have to say. The problem with the post is that the post, when YouTube doesn't like when you're sending the links in this post, and it's decreasing the reach by a lot. So we are having a specific mechanism that we'll be using to get around that to boost the engagement of the posts. Okay, so this is kind of the thing. Now, when it comes to the school on the LinkedIn, we will be using the comment now, comment biting strategy. Meaning, on the LinkedIn, when people are posting content, they can present the value, or what you might saw on some of the posts on the LinkedIn right now, people are actually sending a call out to like comment to get a certain thing, right? So like to get a freebie. And it looks like I'm trying to find right now, you're saying, hey, if you want to get a certain thing, please comment the word agent, and I will be sending you the agent. So this is a very common practice that most of the people are using to get the reach, okay? So I'm trying to find a good post here on the LinkedIn that is going to show that. Anyways, I probably won't, but I think you got the idea. So post, hey guys, I have this education material that I'll be sharing, and instead of you sharing the link, you're gonna send, okay, please comment down education, and I'll be sending you this in the DM. People are commenting, these comments increase the reach, and then you're sending this link through the inbox DM. Now, guys, I will show you everything, don't worry, later in the video how we'll be executing that. But the same thing will be applied to school. And you can say, oh, but why? Now, technically on the LinkedIn, when you're doing that, so more comments you get, more reach you're gonna have. So you can reach the audience besides your network, okay? So this is the main benefit. On the school, it's different because you own the audience on school, and you can like post and spam the post if you want. You can create the 2 posts and pin the post to the top. So anyone who will log into your school will see the post. The reason why we would still want to have the comment now mechanism is because it will increase the amount of comments in the school, and there are multiple softwares that allow us to send the auto DMs to the people who comment under the school posts, which are working through the school APIs. But not only that, it allows viewers who are logging into school, because it's 20,000 members, it's not like every member is logging in every week, so some people will be logging in, they are checking the information first time for the for the few weeks, and they will be seeing a post with a lot of the comments, so they're more likely to actually open this post and do what other people do. When it comes to the newsletter, the only problem and the downside that we are having with the 20,000 newsletter list, which is a pretty good list, is the 20% open rate within the list, okay? So we are, like, for example, I am for my newsletter having about the 40% reply rate, right? The only thing that we will do here, of course, we'll be sending multiple emails, we'll send the sequences, we'll send everything in the right schedule, but we will be doing a proper warm-up for a dedicated domain. Now, if you ever interacted with a cold outreach, the cold email specifically, you know what the email warm-up is. You connect the email to the instantly to the warm-up, and they are sending emails to each other within the warm-up pool. But this is different, okay? So because when you are sending, he has a Beehive account with all of his members, right? And when you are, for example, using a Beehive account, or when you are having, let's say, you're sending the email marketing from, MailChimp, from the ActiveCampaign, from the Go High Level, it doesn't matter. You are actually sending the emails from an IP in the domain. And it's either going to be a shared IP and shared domain, which is the domain of the provider. So you can send it from the Beehive domain, which is not recommended because everyone, all the spammers are using this. So you need to have a dedicated domain for that. So we'll set up a dedicated domain specifically for his newsletter. But now, because this is the new domain, we will be warming up this domain. So we have a mechanism, and we're using a specific tool that there are multiple seats. We'll be sending the emails to the real people, aka bots, that will be engaging with all these emails, warming up the trust. And we've been using it for over 6 months ourselves. It boosts our conversion and open rates so much, so all of our clients are using it, and this is very, very good thing. The only downside here for this specific, there's no downsides. The only caveat here is that we're doing like a very fast launch, and I haven't mentioned that. So we basically have just 1 week to do the launch, okay? And usually it takes 4 weeks. We have 10 days. So usually we have 4 to 5 weeks to do the entire launch, to do the preparation, to build up the system, to build all the creatives, to build all the materials, to have everything and launch the traffic. But here we're having like a shorter period for the launch. This is why we would warm up the domain like for a short period of time, so it will not get the best results, but still we'll be using it. And the last mechanism is of course the bio links. So all the links in all of his bios will be replaced to the webinar sign up link. Now this is pretty much it. Now this is the overview of everything. I will be sharing more in other videos that you will watch right now. Now I want to show you how our client onboarding, project management, and team communication looks. We are using ClickUp as a main hub for our business. Now, sorry in advance because everything will be blurred. I will ask Vince, who is my editor, to blur it slightly so that you can't actually see the information, but you can get an idea because there's a lot of sensitive information. And if we blur partial parts, it's going to take him probably a year to blur everything. One thing that you want to understand is that we are not using any messengers. We are having all of our communication between us, our team members, is done through the ClickUp. Fortunately, ClickUp added their Slack alternative with the messenger, which is great. There are a few nuances when you're sending them files and when you're sending the audio messages, because I love audio messages. But other than that, it is a full Slack replacement. So we're not using it, and we are using the chats. In terms of the chats, we're having the chats, and we are having channels. We're having a team channel where everyone talks, and we are having a channel specifically for each and every client where we can share the ideas. But still, the main hub for everything is a client list. Now we have multiple spaces. If I open one of them, if I open the client, you will see that here we have all the tasks that we need to do for this specific client. I want to first help you to understand the structure of how we do that. We have 3 layers of tasks. Now, every record in ClickUp is called a task. This is just how they work. We have a goal, we have a milestone, and we have a task. Even though technically these are all the tasks, but you can create a task types, and we have 3 main task types for all of our projects that we do. The goal, the milestone, and the task. Now, the goal can have, obviously, multiple milestones, okay? And each milestone can have multiple tasks right here, and each milestone can have multiple tasks. Now, I am not a big fan of micromanagement and managing the team on the small nuances, but it is just it's just a necessity. It's not because I want that and I want to do the micromanagement. It's just the necessity because we are having a complex projects that have similar tasks project over project. So if we go in here, you will see that all the tasks are separated first by what we call the execution stage. And there's an account setup, system setup, content and assets, traffic prep, traffic launch, live event prep, event launch, and after event launch, okay? So these are the phases, okay? Now, each phase has only one goal. So for example, for the project launch, we have a goal, launch a project, okay? We have a goal for the account setup called accounts ready, okay? Accounts ready, obviously. system setup, AI reps and workflows ready. So this is how we understand, this is the goal that we're trying to achieve to finish up the project. Content and assets, content ready. So this is the goal. Now, each goal has multiple milestones. So for example, if we're doing the project launch, so this is the very first execution stage with the launch project goal, we have 5 milestones for that. So watch the client call onboarding, complete client onboarding form, understand the client needs and offers, set up goals and milestones and tasks, assign first goal and milestone to team members. So for example, for the account setup, we have a setup high-level account, set up email warm-up, set up phone number, set up WhatsApp, set up a high-level account. Okay, so like these are all the milestones. Now, each milestone, most of the milestones have it's the tasks. So this is the bottom level. So these are the tasks that the person needs to complete to finish up the milestone, okay? And you can see for the, let's say, email setup, set up business email, set up dedicated email domain, test and verify the connection. The last thing that you need to understand is that most of the tasks have SOPs. So we are having a doc, an SOP doc for most of the processes within the agency, right? So here we are having how to replace the email content, how to set up the warm-up account, how to add seats to the high level, phone numbers, right? How to set up Twilio account, how to complete the ATP verification and all those things. So when you are going into a task, okay, you can expand the description and you can see the description of this task. And one very important thing that this is actually an embedded document. So and I will explain why. So like it doesn't matter what, because we have similar tasks. So for example, set up business email. This is the same task across multiple projects. And we are having it duplicated across multiple projects, but they are still different tasks. So it's not just different instances in one task. These are like separate tasks. So in the description, we actually have a reference to the SOP document. So whenever I change one document, it is getting changed across all of the tasks. This is the main task structure, okay? This is what we do internally. And we actually have a template of tasks. This is the template that we are using for all of our projects. Because when we're onboarding a new client, because we've done this numerous times, we found a lot of the success with like all of our clients, we understand what steps need to be executed to run successful live event launch and do the launch, okay? So most of these tasks repeat across different clients. Of course, the execution will be different. The scenarios are different, but the core is the same. The goals are the same. The milestones are the same. The task sometimes different. So this is why we have this template. As you can see, it doesn't have any assignees. It does have the due dates, just as an example, and it has everything assigned. So what we are doing, when we are onboarding a new client, we are duplicating this list, we are changing the timelines, and we're changing the assignees, and this is how we start. One more thing, I will do a separate video on the client onboarding on the ClickUp. If you want that, let me know in the comments right now. Pause this video and say, hey, Eugene, we need the video about the client onboarding and project management. I will create you that if you're interested. We also have a dependencies now. Again, this is a huge topic. So ClickUp has the dependencies between the tasks, the milestones. So like when you're trying to like complete like a certain task right here, for example, if I try to complete it right now, you will see that the task is blocked by 11 other, tasks and milestones. So you cannot complete something until you complete the previous steps, and because there are relationships, so you cannot start setting up the email if you haven't set up the high-level account. You cannot start working on the static ad creatives if you haven't launched the actual project and if the client haven't filled out the onboarding form. One of the unique things about our onboarding is that we're utilizing dashboards very heavily. Of course, within the company, but also within the client communication. So we create a dashboard and we actually create a separate list where we can assign tasks to our client. We add our client as a guest to our ClickUp. We assume that our clients never use ClickUp, and we don't want to complicate that. ClickUp can be super messy. You go inside, you're lost with all these leads, with all these tasks. This is why we add him as a guest, that's it. And then what we do, we actually create him a dashboard. The dashboard states the actual line, like the webinar launch date. It has multiple buttons that reference different things within the ClickUp, and it has the tasks that the client needs to complete. Because, like, for example, we want to confirm the presentation pitch, right? So this, like, we need to confirm it with the client. We want the client to prepare. So we gave him all the information. He just needs to practice it. So did he practice the pitch? Did he confirm the pricing with the bundles? So we assign him the task to do that. If we want him to connect his business email, we set the task here. So this is pretty much how we are doing the actual project management. Now, in the client portal, under the we have a folder for the client. The client has a list with all the tasks as well as his communication with him, which is the channel created in the ClickUp. But we also have a client portal which is directly tied to the dashboard and to the onboarding. So this is how we do the actual onboarding through the form. We are not using the forms. ClickUp has the forms. I'm not a big fan of the forms, so I created a list. Right, this is basically a list with sublists that the actual client fills out with all of his information right here. So as you can see, there are like red boxes. So he just fills out the information right here and receives that. Okay, so provides the information like that. So the task goes to his dashboard. Please fill out this form. This task, reference this document. Client goes through the document, inputs all the information, clicks the task as done, or tell us that it's done. Now, and you can say, so this is how we collect all the business information, the tax setup, and the social setup, because we need this to understand where the client is starting from. Now, of course, all of this information has been provided during the clarity call, during the strategy call, during this, the onboarding call, but it's just reconfirming that we're having everything in one place. The only last thing that I want to mention is that we are having a WhatsApp group channel for all of our clients. Now, we have a few clients that we don't communicate with through the WhatsApp because they just don't use the WhatsApp. But even if they don't use the WhatsApp, we still say, hey, please download the WhatsApp app, please turn on all the notifications, and this is where we will be communicating, because it's just easier. Obviously, it's just easier to do rather than Slack. Now, you'd say, oh, but isn't the ClickUp has the channels? Yes, we can ask him to download the ClickUp app, and it's a mess, okay? So we don't want that. So this is why we do have a client communication channel set up through the WhatsApp, or in rare cases through the email. We're using Front as a way to gather all the emails together and assign everything to the right team members. But primarily it's the WhatsApp. So we're setting the task saying, hey, please, check your WhatsApp. Now, one thing that I forgot to mention is that each execution stage is managed by one person, right? So we're having a team of 10 within our company, and each person is responsible for his phase. So for his stage. So it's not like one person. We have a customer success manager, of course, assigned to every project, but it's not like customer success manager and there is one person who's doing everything, because we want to have people who are professionals in their fields, and we have people who are doing the great account setup, we have the person who is doing the system setup, we have the person who is doing content, traffic prep, and all those things. So pretty much it, guys. This is how we're doing the onboarding. If you have any questions, let me know.
Guys, look at what is happening here. This is kind of crazy. The amount of snow, we haven't had anything like that as long as I remember. I don't know, for at least 10 years. So the point of me making this video is, we're doing the launch right now for the creator, and WhatsApp is a huge part of the launch, right? meaning we're engaging, nurturing, qualifying, and making people excited for the webinar on the WhatsApp. Because this creator has the international audience, obviously WhatsApp is the biggest communication channel. The problem with the WhatsApp is that it's getting blocked pretty much all the time if you're using the new phone number, new business manager. But the beauty of the system that we have is that we have a complete infrastructure. So with our infrastructure, we have like 10 verified nice business manager with the WhatsApp balloons. And the balloons means these are the WhatsApp accounts that can send up to 2,000 messages. And we just got a notification that, sorry, I cannot run on the snow and talk. So we just got a notification that the creator number was blocked. We always try to start with a number that our client has. I mean, why not? Because we would want our client to have this WhatsApp number already ready to go for future campaigns, outbound and inbound. But the thing with this client is that he had a very, very new business manager, new Facebook account, and it wasn't even verified. So it was obviously blocked after sending about 50 messages, even though the limit was 250 per day. So now it took us 2 hours to reconnect everything to the infrastructure, and now we're having our number that is running and engaging. Yeah, just wanted to share how you can handle these nuances if you have a system ready to go and the infrastructure that has been proven to work.
We have been working a lot the past 2 days to assemble the offer that we're going to be using for our launch, and I want to share what we came up with and the process through which we were going over to refine the offer, understand the price, and understand our main value proposition. In terms of deliverables, so our client has technical course, which is pre-recorded, a business course, one-to-one business help, meaning like the Q&A when people are asking questions about getting clients, sales help, marketing, dev and tech help, obviously for technical questions, same thing. This is, even though it's, I'm calling it one-on-one, it's actually a group help. The client is committed to provide the one-to-one support to resolve all of the members' questions, but all of the people inside the community, inside the group, will see the question. So the question is posted in a group. If someone from the group has a response, this person answer it and help this specific customer. But if there is no answer, our client is dedicated to help this person one-on-one to figure it out, and usually by creating the Loom videos or going over this through the call, which is a very, very rare case. Group coaching calls once a week. I think they're going to be doing twice a week, one for technical, one for business. A community aspect, obviously, for people to network, to meet other business owners, and the one-to-one consultation calls, literally one-to-one with our client. So to put it simply, these are all the things that the client can potentially include in his offer. Originally, he was thinking to make an offer for $20 to $40 a month, include these things, and then include a yearly option for $200 or $400, and include one-to-one consultation call within this package. I was not a big fan of that, and I said that we're gonna make something better, and here's what we came up with. We need to raise the price. As a rule of thumb, usually more you charge, more you're gonna make. Super obvious, but working with hundreds of clients at this point right now across different niches with different offers, especially in the AI space as well as the info space, like the coaches, creators, consultants, not necessarily again in the AI, selling high ticket, low ticket. We see that more people charge more than make. Surely there is some sort of a limit, there is some sort of a ceiling that you should not go over, or it's not gonna make sense. But generally speaking, more you charge, more you're gonna make. So we thought, okay, the ideal scenario is to extract $120, $150 of the LTV value, lifetime value, from every client, okay? And the LTV is the most important metric for launching a low-ticket subscription-based offers. And some people say that the most important metric is the churn. Now, yes, but I would say the churn is the second most important metric. The first one is the LTV. And the reason being is, even if you have a high churn, but you have a great backend processes, to raise the LTV, but by not only retaining the clients across their journey, aka lowering the churn, but also upselling additional offers to raise the LTV. So I do want to see $120 to $150 of the LTV value, and even having like $30 a month offer, it's not possible. Like, this is gonna mean that average client will need to stay inside the program for what, like 4 or 5 months. This is not happening. I mean, an average, like, of course people will stay for a number of years, but on average, no, it's not happening. Okay, it's just not happening. So we need to raise the price, and the bar should be at least $50, because when it is $50, now we're talking about like 2 to 3 months, okay? When it is 2 to 3 months, again, across all of our clients that sell low ticket offers, this is something that is very, very doable. But technically speaking, having one set price across the lifespan of the program is also not the right thing, because you might want to do the different launches, you might want to have a different offers for different circumstances. Maybe you're gonna be, and we are potentially gonna be running the ads to this offer after the initial launch, maybe the cold outreach. So we need to have the flexibility. This is why the actual price of the program should be set to $80 a month. And you can say, hey, Eugene, like, it's pretty big shift from $20 to $30 to $80. Yeah, but listen to this. So listen to the plan. So our actual range will be $50 to $80, okay? And depending on the launch strategy and the client acquisition strategy that this client will use further down the line to grow his business, this can vary, okay, from here to here. But it should not go less than $50 a month, because this will destroy the LTV and it wouldn't make too much sense, especially if you're spending money to acquire the clients. Right now, we are launching to the organic audience, so we're almost not spending money, so there is still the software costs included, but yeah, it's virtually free. But when you're going to be spending money, no, I mean, it should not go below $50. On the $80 side, I am a big believer. Right now, you saw like the communities and the low ticket program offers, especially on the monthly side, on the monthly basis, are very popular. A lot of businesses are trying to use it, not necessarily in the info space. I see a lot of agencies are trying to introduce the communities for their potential clients to learn from that, and then they're upselling their agency services. Some of the businesses, even on the insurance space, even on the real estate space, creating the same thing. So this is a hot topic, okay? The low ticket offers that are sold on a monthly basis, and anything that goes above $100 is no longer considered a low ticket offer. Now, Sure, like $100 is nothing, but with our economy and with the way people are positioning it, usually it's, $99 to $97. Of course, when I'm saying 50, it's going to be like $49. When it's going to be 80, it's going to be $79. So $100, okay, is a max, okay? So $100 is like the max of the mental level after which people starting to seriously consider, like, should they go for it or not. We've been running the A/B test for the prices, and we saw the 15% conversion decrease when we went from, we were testing $95 to $105. 15%, guys. So it was like 15 to 20, like depending on the lending that we've been using, but it's a lot. I mean, 20, like that's a lot. So it's not worth $10 a month, even if you're, retaining the clients on average for, 2 to 4 months. But now you say, okay, so why not 97 or why not 89? Now, because we are again in the AI space, and these are the average prices that, the major communities and the offers charging, so we don't really want to compete with them. We are going to be accepting a lot of the people who cannot afford, like, to invest a lot of money into their business in the first stages. This is why we want to have something superior in terms of the offer. This is why I really don't want to go above $79. But again, the actual launch will be for the $50, aka $49. And I'm gonna explain in a second the way we're going to be charging for yearly and lifetime. But one thing on how we decided to present this price and justify the early bird price that is going to be presented by the client on the webinar is by live changing the price on the presentation. Meaning, so the client will be presenting, my chair is... Okay, so the client will be presenting on the webinar his offer, okay? And then, like, he will be teaching on the webinar on how to do X, Y, and Z. He'll be providing the value for 50 minutes. And then 10 minutes is the pitch. So the last 10 minutes before the Q&A, he will be pitching and saying that I am launching this thing, so please, subscribe, here's the offer. And we thought, why not to say first that the price for this product, for this program, is $79 a month, but because because I promised that you guys are going to receive an early bird access, because you guys will have the best price possible and that we're the lowest one that will ever be, it's actually gonna be $49. But we're going even further. So we'll ask him to share the screen, open the platform, open the landing page, and literally say, hey guys, so you can see that the price is $79. I am manually right now changing the price to $49 only for the next, X amount of hours for you to join. Then it will get back to the $79. So this will add authenticity to the offer, because this is actually, we will be charging clients, $79 and aka $80. But for this launch, we're doing the $49, and to prove that, we're sharing the screen and we're live, dropping the price from the backend so that people can start joining right away. And this will increase the scarcity. And we've saw this, across multiple of our clients. It doesn't matter if they are selling the high ticket, we create some sort of a way to add scarcity to their offer and show the scarcity, like visually present it, not just say, oh, this is the limited number, we have a limited number of spots, something like that, because people are, already used to that. So now, if we summarize, for this launch, we are gonna be using the $49 month price. Okay, this is going to be the set price. Within this price, we will have all of these things included. Okay, all of these things. So we'll have a technical course, we'll have a business course, we will not call it a one-to-one business help. We're gonna, just call it a business help. We're gonna be calling it a dev tech help, and you're gonna understand why we're not calling it one-on-one, and the group coaching calls and the community. Okay, so these are the deliverables for the $49. Then we are adding the third plan, which is going to be $297 a year, which is ridiculously low. Okay, this is the lowest price you can imagine for a yearly, like even within the competitors that we have that are, having the price for their low ticket product lower than that. This is the price that they're charging for the yearly access. And the reason why we are, making such a lucrative offer is because we want to collect more money upfront. So if you think about this from a monthly standpoint, as I said, we are planning for $120, $150 of the LTV. So let's say on the positive side, 150 LTV from every client. Okay, some of them again are bringing $400. Some of them will be bringing only $70 or only $50. So the yearly is still double from the average LTV. So for us, it's still worth it. Okay, for sure, most people will not retain for longer than a year. So we still kind of consider it as a one-time payment, as a one-time purchase, but this one-time purchase is much, is collecting us more money upfront compared to the LTV. So this is what I see a lot of people are missing. They think that they need to, okay, so let me get as many people as I can on the monthly and let me not, focus on the yearly or, the lifetime option because like we're going to be receiving, money month over month, but here they're just paying upfront. Yes, it is true, but this is just on the mental side. On the mental side, it is easier for you to think that people will retain for infinite amount of time and they'll be keep paying you month over month. But again, the LTV here is the most important part. So sure, technically it is easier for you to charge $300 upfront, deliver the same value than charging them, $49 a month, because still people will cancel their subscription. So this is just the math, okay? And this is why we are very confident that if we bring it, down to the $300 a year, we're gonna have a lot of the yearly subscriptions, and this will still be much better than selling people the monthly option. And with the yearly access, they are going to be having a one-on-one consultation with our client included. So they are having the one-to-one consultation and they're having all the other deliverables from the monthly plan. And as you saw from the previous parts of this video, I do want to add a high ticket offering. The high ticket offering, I want to call it an unlimited access or the lifetime access, but it's just the marketing because it's still gonna be the high, ticket offer, high ticket. This is going to be 1.5K, okay? 1.5K. This offer will have the lifetime access to, to all of these deliverables, to all of the updates. It's not gonna have this, but instead we're adding two things. We are adding the unlimited access to one-to-one our client and one-to-one dev support priority. So what we're doing is for the clients who are serious about the business, they're going to be buying the unlimited package for 1.5K and have the unlimited calls with our client for, still deciding, for 3 to 6 months, okay? And the priority dev support, okay, for 3 to 6 months. Let me guys explain. because a lot of you might think, oh, it's, ridiculous, it's crazy, like 3-6 month unlimited access for just 1.5k. We have literally the clients I've been recording the videos on this YouTube channel that are charging 10,000 pounds upfront for this type of access. Look, this is a bit of a different niche and a bit of a different ICP. When we're talking about the one-to-one access, I can guarantee that 9 out of 10 people who will buy the high ticket offer will not have more than 2 calls. Okay, maybe 3. So, like, even though it's called unlimited, like, no one is actually gonna be calling every week. Okay, it's just not how it works. And if you've been selling anything related to the high ticket, the agency services, or the info, you understand that, yeah, like, people don't do that. Okay, plus, on top of that, even if the person who is buying it, like, very, very active, the calls are not necessarily, like, needed. It's just on the marketing, like, okay, so you're having the unlimited calls. But for example, when I've been, selling a similar offer, I've been always communicating with people through the audio. It's just easier than, scheduling the call for the next, like, few days. Why would, the client want to wait? And it's just easier for you to record an audio on the go. So this sounds ridiculously good, and I'm pretty sure that you understand this. Like, when I'm saying, oh, like, this client, our client has a reputation. People are currently paying him $300 an hour for the consultation. And now, like, we're saying 1.5k, unlimited access to everything, plus the one-to-one help. Like, it's a not negotiable offer, okay? It's a not negotiable offer. But in terms of the delivery, it's going to be very easy. Plus, on the dev support, what priority means is that the devs will understand who bought it and will answer their questions in the same format within the group, but we'll give them, more attention. Now, if they are, stuck, they will be willing to, of course, hop on the call one-to-one, because for the groups, it's rarely the case, only if, something goes completely wrong. But in here, if the person is actually looking for the one-to-one help, so the devs of the client will be able to hop on a call. And because he is still paying for the devs are not, usually not, working 8 hours a day. So they still have the free time, even though the client is paying them for the full day. So this is, it's just like, yeah, it's not negotiable. Honestly, it's a 2.5 to 3.5k offer. And I can prove that with our client results, with myself, with the people who are selling info, with the businesses who are selling the agency services, I can prove that people are willing to pay this much money for this. So why are we going to charge 1.5k? Just because of the client. He's so we had a call yesterday. So he was initially skeptical. Now he's willing to do that, but he's afraid to raise the price that much because he's never been, selling the high ticket before. This is why I agreed to, okay, so let's do the 1.5k. And then for the next launches, when we're going to be driving traffic through the ads and through the outreach, we're going to be raising the price to, self-liquidate the cost of the ad spend. So this is what we're planning, guys, for the offering. Now, in terms of the plan that we have for the subs and the results and the cash collected value, I can't actually remember if I already said that in the previous videos, so let me reframe it here again. Our plan is to get 400 signups for the Webby, okay? Our plan is to get the 400 signups for the Webby. We are pretty sure that more than half will show up because this is the organic audience. So planning for, 260 shows, and the retention will be crazy. I'm pretty sure, again, we're creating a very nice presentation, a great script, the great slides. So 240 realistically are going to be listening to the offer, you can say, hey, Eugene, it's not realistic. Now, like, keep in mind that, of course, it's not like 240 people in the offers, meaning they listened from the beginning till the end. So usually it's going to be more to towards like 200 people, and then the remaining 40 maybe connected in the second part of the webinar. But again, it's not going to be a problem for us because this is the organic audience and we're selling the low ticket product, not the $10,000 upfront package. So they will be fine with that, and I'm pretty sure we'll convert a lot. So out of these people, I think 80. Okay, so 80 is going to be, okay, no. So let's do it 70. So 70 is like 30. Yeah, I mean 70 buys, okay, 70 buys, and let's do, we're probably gonna have like 30, okay, so that it's 100 in total. So 30 are gonna be on the roll-up. So 30 on the roll-up, meaning after the Webby, we'll be sending the recording and we'll be sending the official launch email, LinkedIn, like email from the high level from the system for the signups, email to the newsletter, LinkedIn, YouTube video. So like 30 in the first 24 hours. It's very important, you know, first 24 hours. First 24 hours, okay? We're talking about that. And the first, let's say first 7 days, and you'll understand why I'm doing that. And for the first 7 days, like out of these people, like 8, we'll have like 8 calls for high ticket, and we will close 7, okay? 7 closed. So this is for the next 7 days, and the reason why I'm mentioning the 7 days is because obviously the calls, you know, are going to be spread throughout the week. So 7 closed. So only for the first 7 days, the plan is to cash collect 10K only from the you know, the lifetime packages. Now, for the first 24 hours, it's going to be 100 people, okay? It's going to be 100 people. For $50 is the 5K MRR, but some of them are going to be on the yearly package, right? So I would say we're also targeting the 8 to 10K collected, okay? So we are targeting 8 to 10K collected plus this collected. So now we're looking at 20K collected in the first week. And again, this is the first 24 hours. So obviously we're still going to have, you know, 30, 50 more people throughout the week because of the launch. So 20K collected. And then we're having the second month. Okay, so second month is where the actual results are going to be popping, because even if we're gonna have like, even if we, you know, in the next 7 days after this, we have like 50 more people. Some of them are still on a yearly, but most of them are still on the monthly. So we are probably looking at 10K additional MRR the month 2. Okay, so now we are looking at 30K collected a month. Okay, in a month, in 30 days. This, if we don't hit this target, we're screwed, okay? Because this is the conservative target. I am 97% sure that it's gonna be hit. Now, you guys see that, okay? So you guys already aware of what happened, because I probably put the cash collected value in the title or on the thumbnail, plus later in the video you will see that. So if I posted this video, we probably collected the money. But if you tell me, okay, Eugene, what is the good? Like, how would we consider the good launch? I would say like 50K. So if we cash collect 50K in 2 months, in 60 days, this is going to be good. This is going to be good for the first launch with the organic audience, without pushing too much, without, you know, like, it's like we could collect like 70, 80K if we increase the price, because I know that for the high ticket, but fine. I mean, because look, for this type of the audience, it doesn't matter. Like, okay, so instead of 8, we would book like 6 calls, but now the price would be not 1.5K, it would be actually 3.5K. So now if we close 5, it's going to be like 20K instead of, you know, 10K. So easily, okay, easily, but fine. This is what we're aiming for, okay? So $50,000 within the 60 days, or on the lowest side, $30,000 in the next 30 days after the launch, cash collected. We'll see how it goes, and we'll keep you guys updated. I want to first apologize for not recording the video earlier. We were super busy with this launch. Plus, we are having 5 launches concurrently running for other clients. So I skipped a few steps, but don't worry. I will explain everything. And in case, in general, I forget something very important or you guys would be interested in something else, please leave a comment and let me know. Right now, I want to talk about the traffic and the landing. If you remember, if we go back into our phases right here, so remember the 10 phases that we need to complete to launch a successful live event. The first one is traffic and landing. I mean, we completed this, okay? We completed most of the things already because the time is moving fast. And we already did the traffic launch partially, okay? So I will talk about the traffic, what we decided, what we have, and the results that we're already getting. But let's first go through the landing, okay? A landing page is pretty much straightforward. We have a 2-step landing page. The first one is the sign up. So this is basically the page where there is no VSL, no video, straight up offer, logo here, title, subtitle, countdown, and then the call to action, okay, to claim the free spot for the webinar. Then we are usually having like 8 to 10 paragraph of the information, like the screenshots and the photos of the client, some information on what to expect from the webinar, and then basically all other things, okay? And at the very bottom, we are having the case studies of the clients as a proof of the concept, okay? I'll show you the live page in a sec. And then when people claim their free spot, when they click the button, there is a pop-up, opens up. Again, I will show you that. Person fills out the information, goes to the high level, because this page is built on the high level, and then goes to the confirmation page. Now, you can see no fancy design, nothing fancy, okay? Because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if we're running for the organic audience or we're running the cold audience through the cold outreach or the paid ads. The things remain the same. Everything is all about the offer. Plus, it is free event. It needs to be straight to the point. Plus, you better show the value in terms of the case studies if you have them at the end of the page. We have been A/B testing the variation versus control version of the landing page. Control meaning the main version of placing the image here, you know, like instead of the VSL placing the image. But usually what is happening is that this button goes below, and lower the button is what we found again, the conversion, the less likely people actually going to subscribe. So what we found is that by removing the image from here, again, we've been running the A/B test for the past 2 months, we actually have 15 to 20% conversion increase by not having the image here. Okay, so this is why we're not doing that. But one very important thing that we do, and you should take a note of that, on the confirmation page, we have a video. Yes, so we do kind of like a VSL-ish video at the second part, like on the confirmation page. Because if we would do it here, it would decrease number of signups. We don't want that. And you can say, oh, okay, but what if the signups are not qualified? Look, all the qualification is done by your headline and the call out, okay? It's not about that. So why then the video? The video is just because people just want to feel connected. Like we already start building the excitement, building the connection, okay, with the lead. And on our side, of course, the advantage of working with the people who already have experience recording videos and talking camera is that, like this client, it takes basically, this is why we launched it pretty fast, is because it took him like 2 hours to record this video. This is basically, I think it's 2 minute, like, hey, thank you for signing up. Here's what to expect. That's it, okay? 2 minutes. Like the personal invitation and confirmation. Then the most important things, okay? 2 things. First is the complete registration button. This button opens the calendar invite. Okay, meaning we are using like calendar link, for example, for that. There are multiple softwares like this. So this is the link that people click and they can add the event to their calendar. So technically, yes, we could send them the invitation manually, and we still send them all the follow-ups, but it serves 2 purposes. First, lock in the time in their calendar, and second, to do another step, do another thing. So they just need to click one button. More buttons they click, more steps they do, more committed they become for the event. So this is why we're saying complete registration here and complete registration here. It's very important, okay? So they add it to the calendar because, yeah, of course, like after, submitting, and this is what a lot of people do, after the submitting here, the form pops up, and then this forms, like they submit and they go straight to the calendar link. Sure, but there's no video and you're missing all the steps. We never do that. The second step is to join our private WhatsApp group. All of our clients create WhatsApp groups for all of their events. Even, majority of our clients in the US, again, so people are not using WhatsApp, but who cares? Okay, still, people will do that, will join. Not all of them, usually from 40 to 70%, depending on your audience type. But there, we ask the client to record audio messages every day to keep the users engaged, communicate with them, and this is an additional channel for the follow-ups, like, hey, webinars tomorrow, webinars today, are you showing up? We're starting. Besides all the other follow-ups across all the channels, even though we're using the follow-ups on the WhatsApp, right? This is just a WhatsApp group. So it's just another way of talking, okay? Then here, and what to expect, we are providing, because it's like this client has the international audience, so we provide the times in different time zones. So US, Eastern, Pacific, Central, London, Central European time, and then the complete registration again, and then the whatever. This is pretty much how the landing page is structured, okay? So if I show you the landing page right now, again, everything will be very heavily blurred here, very heavily. So yeah, you can see that it's here. When you say claim your ticket, so it opens the pop-up, last name, first name, phone number, and email. Again, you can say, oh, collecting the phone number decrease the amount of signups. Yes, but we don't care because we will communicate with them, with the AI reps, communicate through them through the phone number, through the WhatsApp and the iMessage and the text. So it's very important. And as I said, like pretty straightforward from this standpoint. And then claim again, and then the basically thousands of other businesses doing the same thing as I will be teaching. Okay, pretty straightforward. Now in the confirmation page, again, same thing. If you complete the registration, you go to a calendar invite link. If you open the private WhatsApp group, you're going to the private WhatsApp. So this is pretty much how it is structured, how we've done the landing. Now, let's talk about the fun part. Let's talk about the traffic, and I divided it into the multiple stages. The first one is the YouTube. Now, on the YouTube, we are having a new video that he have not yet posted, but the video will be, right here as the new video on the YouTube, which will have the call out at the middle and at the end, plus the link. Post that was already posted. And this is what I told you guys. Look at this post. Yeah, so the client has 30,000 subscribers on YouTube and has 40 likes for the post and 45 comments. And you can say, oh, it's not a lot. Now, if you know the YouTube post, it is a lot, okay? It is a lot. It's a very good thing. And so the way we are doing the posts is interesting because what we ask people to do is we're saying, hey, if you're interested to get the invite, please check the comments. And in the comments section, we attach the link. So the link is attached in the comments, not on the post, meaning the YouTube does not decrease the reach of this post. And why there are so many comments is because we ask people, when you sign up, please make a comment so that we can confirm your registration. Now, the registration is not getting confirmed, obviously, but it's just boosting up this engagement. And the links, as you can see, so for example, this video was posted like a month ago, and join my free live webinar, and there's a link. So all the links for all the videos have been replaced, and it is good to go, just waiting for the video. Now, in terms of the LinkedIn, on the LinkedIn, we are doing 3 posts. The posts are the same, they just have a bit of a different content, but the structure is the same. So there is a call out. So in my case, for example, would be if I would run a webinar for teaching people how to get clients through the webinars, I would do this system can get you high ticket clients within the next 10 high ticket clients within the next 30 days, only 100 spots open, free. Okay, and then there is like a bit of a content, there is an image, and then please make a comment if you're comment word client acquisition, and I will send you the link. So as you can see, we have 261 comments, which is awesome. Okay, which is awesome. So all these people receive the invite and already subscribing. So that's great. Now we also starting, okay, so we prepared already the DM automation because the client has 8,000 followers on LinkedIn. So we are planning to do the outreach to the connection network of the people who are qualifying to the audience, not to everyone because it's going to hit the limit, but at least, some people who are like very, very qualified and have the first level of the connection through the AimFox. We're using AimFox for the automation. We're using AimFox, HeyReach, and Dripify, but for this case, we're using the AimFox. Okay, so this is pretty much on the LinkedIn. Okay, so there's like a few posts, 2 posts left. We wrote all the posts, right? So we do everything for the client, meaning we wrote all the posts. He just modified it based on his specific case, like the language that he wanted to use. Maybe he removed some things that he don't want to say. Usually because we're super pushy, because people liked it, they didn't care. We just need to get as many signups as possible with the high intent leads. But yeah, so we write that, we do the images, and he's just posting it. On the school, we are doing 2 posts. Again, very similar posts as on the LinkedIn. You can see that there is a headline, there is a description the same, there is an image, and all the comments. Now we have on school 160 comments already, right? Which is like good number. It's actually even more on the LinkedIn because these are comments, some of these are actually, so the VA of this client who is sending messages manually to the people with the invites is replying to people back in the comments, but here we're not replying. So it's approximately the same number of comments. So it is really good, and it's just we're just starting. Okay, so school is covered, and it's going to be 2 posts of these. 1 post posted, another one will be 2 days before the webinar. Newsletter. On the newsletter, we are having 2 posts. Here, I'm having a screenshot, for example, as a reference from our ClickUp, because we're having a, for example, schedule newsletter post task. We assign this task to the client so that he see it, and when he opens this task, in the description, he see all the posts that he needs to post, okay? So he can just copy and paste. Here, as you can see, this is my image here because we're sending it as a reference. So it's basically like I like to send newsletters, at least the first one with the invitation with the image, just feels more natural. Hey, we don't have the names of people on the newsletter, so it's a newsletter, so it's not like a personal email, so we don't try to fake it. Hey guys, I'm launching this event, so here you can reserve your spot. I'm hosting the event. See, like usually this is kind of controversial, and we decided to do it like that because it's usually like I'm hosting a live event. Here's what you will learn. Reserve your spot right here, and the link is below. But what we found is that it always better to put the link on top, because some people, especially it's a newsletter, they already trust you. They can just click on any link that you post. So it would improve the click rate and increase the number of the signups. Here's what you'll learn. Here's the bonus, see you there. Okay, pretty straightforward. Now, the last email, for example, is more on the urgency will be, it's like last chance, 12 spots left. Again, the link, live event starts tomorrow. Our live, only for live participants, this is what they're getting. Cheers. Okay, pretty straightforward. This is what we will do for the newsletter. And now, of course, for the bios, everything is getting replaced. He already has the link to the webinar replaced on the YouTube, on the LinkedIn. So now let me show you a few things live. Here, again, we'll blur some information out. So here you can see, yeah, so this is the video. Okay, so if I open the channel here, again, everything will be blurred. So if I go to like the 2 months back, so you can see the link here. Yeah, so all the links are replaced on the YouTube. Now, in terms of the LinkedIn, so the link is also replaced right here. Here is the school. The school, we have already 2 posts pinned related to this event. Each of the posts have 150 comments, and we will have 1 more post. Newsletter, you can see that the post was posted. Okay, in terms of the performance, this was just posted recently, so it has only 12% open rate, but the 12% open rate is still 2,000 people, and I already showed you that. Now, you can see that people are starting to show up already, and they are already talking to our AI rep. They're having the conversations. So this person has the conversation with the rep on the WhatsApp. This person has, I guess, the text conversation. So people are signing up. Now, again, will be a separate part of the video later where I will like tell you results in terms of how many signups we got from each and every channel and what's going on there. But pretty much it, guys. So this is pretty much what I wanted to cover when it comes to the landing and the traffic. Again, the system has been set up, all the AI apps have been set up, the follow-up sequences. We're working on the presentation right now. We'll keep you updated. So guys, we have started the webinar for the client. You can see that it is right there. Don't show it for now. I'll show it later. But see, like I'm very connected with all of our clients all the time. We usually connect 15-20 minutes before the webinar to make sure everything is fine. He has his VA who is monitoring the chat for the spam messages. We double check everything. And if I show you right now the results that we're seeing currently, again, there is probably like a separate video about it, but at the time of me recording this video, at the time of the start of the webinar, so we have more than 600 people signed up for the webinar. The 452 people talked with our AI reps. 257 people talked to the WhatsApp, 98 the messages, and the calls done. So these are just the engagement that was happening before the webinar. Now, the screen will be blurred because again, there's just like an account information for the client. But you can see that he started the chat already. Unfortunately, I cannot see how many members there are because I'm not an admin of the Zoom. It's just a weird thing about the Zoom. But you can see the chat is going crazy. So obviously we are having more than 200 people, I'm pretty sure already. But we'll see at the end. Anyway, so we'll keep you guys updated on how everything goes. And yeah. Okay, guys, so we are still on the webinar. It is 10 p.m. my time, which is 2 p.m. Eastern, and the webinar is still going. Our clients is still rolling it for over 2 hours. And I want to explain why. We actually do not limit the Q&A section. Depending on the client and the offer that we're launching, the value add-on within the live event could be 40 minutes to like hour and a half. But then there is a Q&A. We never limit the Q&A because this is a great time for the group sell. This is where the actual group selling is. And sure, usually when you're selling the high ticket, 5 to 8% of people will book right away, right? So you're presenting the value, you're presenting the offer, you're sending the link, they book in. Now, with this client, of course, it's a bit different because this is the low ticket offer plus the high ticket upsell. So he actually was sending the link, people were buying right away. and I already see a pretty good results. I will share that at the end of this video. But when we are doing the high ticket only, again, 5-8% book right away. Then there is an actual selling. So some people have the concerns and they might not even be ready for the sales call. So this is why they listen to the answers to the questions that other people are asking. They understand that it's a common concern that they're having. They're seeing how you close and like convert to the sales calls the people who are asking these questions, so they are highly more likely to convert. So when you are, and most of our clients are selling the high ticket products, longer they stay with you, better connection you build, and more chances you have of closing them. So again, the webinar is rolling. I'm not sure for how long he will be live. I guess as long as we have the questions, we'll keep you updated. Good morning, guys. This is the morning after the webinar, which is the most excited morning for me because I'm the type of the person who doesn't like to see the results of the live event right after the event, because we have quite a few roll-up sequences that are getting posted after the webinar recording goes out with the additional call to actions. So I have my team who is monitoring everything after the webinar, of course, but I like to take the step back because, again, usually our own webinars are clients' webinars because the clients are primarily in the US, are my evenings. So we're on the webinar and then I take the step back, go having a dinner, watch the TV show, and don't even open my laptop. And then I do that in the morning. I already have, okay? So I have the results. So it's not like the very first reaction. So I know how much money we've made. So let me show you. You can see, just going over everything again. So you can see we have 638 signups, show ups, deposit, thinking clients don't pay attention here because we haven't yet tracked the show ups. It's going to be here. And then we are having the talk to AI. 471 people yesterday before the webinar, or when the webinar was running. I think I was recording the video, if I remember correctly. I was showing you the screen. Probably saw that like 2 minutes ago. It was a bit less. Maybe there was a bit less interactions on the WhatsApp or on the SMS. And the reason being is because after the roll-up sequences goes out, we're sending the recording. So some people start engaging with the AI right after the recording got sent, but it's usually keeping everything at the same range, okay? So 471 people engaged with AI. It is crazy, okay? This is more than an average that we're having, okay? Because, I mean, of course it depends on the niche. So usually we are having 50 to 80% of the people who are engaging with the reps across the board. And again, the stats will probably go as far as 500 people engaged with the AI within the next 7 days. So it's like it's above average. And the reason being is because, again, so for this specific client, we've been only utilizing the organic channel. So of course, people are more connected to the client and they just want to talk with him, because we're faking that it is him behind the screen. So most of the people know that it's him and think that it's him. But of course, if they're going to be asking, hey, is this the bot? Is this the AI? We're not lying. Okay, so we're saying, yes, it's a stupid bot built by the client name. So do you want me to continue asking you the questions, or I can call him? Of course, we're not calling him because he's busy, but just making sure that the clients understand and the leads understand that they're not getting tricked. They are like originally getting tricked, of course, but everyone is pretty much good with that. Now, WhatsApp, SMS, iMessage, you can see that the iMessage usually, like an SMS and the iMessage, like iMessage is usually way higher compared to the SMS, and usually higher than the WhatsApp because we're working with a US audience. But in his example, in his case, the majority of the audience is international. Still, the majority is still in the US, but he has a lot of the people internationally. This is why the WhatsApp here playing a huge role. And the AI call is done. It means that the engagement call before the live event, to engage with the person to make sure that the registration has been completed, and 2 hours before the webinar. Now, let me actually share you the stats. And if I go to my WhatsApp, I don't think that you will see that, or maybe you will. Okay, let me try to share the full screen here. Again, everything will be blurred, but I want to make sure that you saw that. He said that after the webinar, he got up to 300 people. Okay, so 300 people who were watching till the offer, which is, 50%. This is very high, but it is not higher than our average. Okay, so it's high compared to the industry standards, but usually we have 40 to 60%, primarily 60% when we're selling high ticket offers. So this is the average. Goes up to 70% show ups rate. So the average is actually for the high ticket items is the 60%, which is literally 2 times higher than the industry average standard. And as I showed you, because the AI engagement. But the reason why I said that the 50% for him is extraordinary is, think about this. First, people already aware of kind of what he's going to be launching, so they are aware that this is a lower ticket item, so they know that he will be selling it afterwards, after the webinar. So technically they have less chances to actually show up live, even though we're doing everything that we can. On top of that, again, because they know that they can find him online out there, so the chances of them showing up actually decrease. When we're running for the clients who are not very active on socials, that are getting clients primarily through either the referrals or maybe the cold outreach or maybe the paid ads, we can go, and plus they're selling the high ticket, we can go as far as 60 to 70% show up rate. But 50%, that's good. But remember, the show up rate was probably 360, 370. We will still analyze that. So it's higher. But the 50% is the offer hearings, meaning so the people who stay until the end. And if you compare the 360 people who, let's say, showed up, we don't have the exact numbers, but it's probably going to be somewhere in this range, and 300 people who stayed till the offer, you will understand how ridiculously good this is. The retention of the webinar is very high. And again, the reason being is because we spend a lot of time, helping with the presentation. We have a lot of slides. We, structure up the script in the right manner to give the hook, to get the pre-objection handling before the webinar main content starts. We give the framework positioning so that people understand what to expect. Anyways, so there are a lot of the tactics that we've been using, but you are here to know the actual numbers. So let me scroll down here. This is what we already collected on this webinar. So deals value $16,080, high ticket value 0, and yearly value $4,000. Okay, for print. And if I will find the screenshot that he sent basically today. Let me make the screenshot right here. So you will see that this is the total value of the payments processed. Guys, within, it hasn't been even 24 hours. Within a day, okay? Now, you remember that we have been planning to cash collect 50K, okay? That was the plan. Now, we always set the higher standard plank on where we are going, and we will achieve that. I already know that, okay? So let me explain how the math here is actually going to work. Out of this $16,000 that we have cash collected right on, it's basically on the webinar, okay? Okay, let me make a screenshot of this. So nothing is going to be leaked here? Probably. Okay, so let me do that. So, out of this money that we collected, 4.2 is the actual yearly subscriptions, okay? So meaning the actual monthly payments are $12,000. So basically $12,000 right now. Not even all the roll-up sequences have been posted. Now, we will get to 20K monthly MRR for the low ticket product. We're gonna get to the 20K, 100%. Plus, right now we have the 4 let's say 4K yearly ARR. This will go to up to probably, let's say like, okay, so I think 7, but let's say 6. So 6K ARR, but this needs to be combined, of course. So it's not like separate values. Okay, so guys, like in the next month is gonna be 20K. So only from the MRR, we will have 40K on the month 2. Plus, we combine this 6K, it's gonna be 46K. Again, the projection, I'm not sure if I'm gonna, probably not, so I will publish that for you guys to see that, but I think you understand it, right? So like day 0, 16K, obviously, and 12K, so obviously we're gonna get to the 20K within the next week. Because there are so many roll-up sequences, so many people were not able to show up, so many people are still having some objections that the AI rep will be handling. So we technically hit our goal, but there is a huge part that you may be missing, like the high ticket value. I mean, the high ticket sales. It's 0. We haven't sold anything, and the reason being is because people are booking the call. And again, if I check the WhatsApp, what we reported, okay, so webinar, okay. So here we have, so Harsh told the client, Harsh is my employee, told that we have 7 bookings right after the webinar. But now if I go to our automations and see the webinar, after the webinar automations. So we have 11. So now we have 11 bookings for the high ticket. Now, I'm not sure if you already saw that, but again, it was previously in the video where I said like what type of the offering we're going to be presenting to the people on the webinar for the high ticket. But basically it's the 1.5K offer. So this is what we decided to go with. We decided not to go as far as 2.5K. So on the safe side, and then possibly relaunch only for the high ticket without the monthly option. 11. Here you're having like 80% closing rate. So let's say we're closing 9. And of course, this is the client. He's going to be closing. He has the closer, but usually these are not the closes. So people are ready to buy. They just need to, talk with someone on the call and then get the Stripe link. So here we're going to be 9K plus, okay, so whatever. It's going to be 3, 4.5, 9, 13, 13.5, but let's say 13K. So now, plus on top of that, within the roll-up sequences, maybe we will get 2 more closes within the next month of the roll-up sequences. So this will go to as high as $15,000 within the next 2 months. Plus the MRR for the 2 months, plus the ARR that they already paid. And this goes to $60,000. Okay, writing sucks. Okay, so $60,000. Yeah, so we hit the target. Maybe I don't look happy, but like I'm pretty satisfied. Let me put it that way. I'm pretty satisfied, but I was expecting that. So there's like nothing that could go wrong. Okay, the only thing that could go wrong is like the Zoom webinar actually disappears and our webinar get canceled or something like that. But I was planning for that. I'm happy that we actually went above and beyond the target that we set, even though it was a very, very good and overly positive target for the actual launch that our client was not even expecting, because if you remember, he was just planning to do the waitlist. And obviously, it couldn't be as good as the entire full launch. But yeah. So these are, guys, the calculations. Now, I think we'll see if I'm gonna record another video with another update. Maybe we'll give you some info on what we're gonna be doing with the roll-ups and everything, but just to show you, so we have the roll-up. So see, we have 545 people on the roll-up sequence here. So it's not all the webinar signups. The reason being is because some people actually unsubscribe when they receive the confirmation, when they were receiving the follow-up sequence with the education materials for the follow-ups. So when they say unsubscribe because we are using the high level, we have the D&D option, do not disturb, whatever, do not, never contact us again, automatically triggered when people are saying the trigger words. So yeah, it was just removed automatically from the campaigns. But here you can see that the last email was sent to 528 people, 41% actually opened and 6% clicked. So on this email we had, I believe, only the link to the low ticket product and not even the high ticket booking. So we haven't even pushed the high ticket booking again. Okay, 41% is probably gonna go up to 46%, which is good. I mean, as I said, we started to work with this client pretty late, and we haven't had a chance to fully unwrap our warm-up workflows for the dedicated domain for the email campaigns. So this is why their reputation is still like lower, and some people and some emails are going to spam. But this is pretty good. Okay, this is pretty good. This is not the Beehive, right? So remember, on the Beehive he is having a different like newsletter for all the people. So these are only the people who signed up to the event. But on the Beehive we also send an email, if I remember correctly. Maybe we haven't even sent it yet. If I haven't said it, there's also going to be even better. But on the Beehive, he has all the people who are in his newsletter for the people who signed up. Probably the majority are there, as well as just the random people. So we will still send the offer and the launch, the announcement with a recording to all the people, even if they haven't signed up, just for the sake of it being there. Okay, yeah, so thanks for watching. Again, we'll keep you updated. Probably there will be the second part of the video where, not the second, the last part of the video where I'll be presenting you some more information on the roll-up sequences, what we've done, and what is the plan for the future launches for the client. But if you have any questions, let me know in the comments.
It was minus 22 Celsius or minus 5 Fahrenheit, something like that. Decided to have a run. No days off. As you can see, my face is freezing. We finished the launch yesterday. I already recorded you the update that you saw previously. Wanted to share a quick insight on how you guys need to think about client acquisition. And it doesn't matter if you're using the educational funnels like the live events or anything else, but when you're asking yourself, how do I get more clients? This is like too broad of a question. It's like, how do I make money, right? It doesn't make too much sense. So what we like to do when we're running the ads for live events, we're asking like, how much money we need to spend to get the signups that we need to how much signups do we need to get to the amount of people on the webinar that will then convert to the paid, clients. And when you are asking the right questions, like how much money we need to spend to acquire these leads, gosh, my hand is freezing. Or how, many signups do we need? Then how much is going to be one signup? When we are not running the ads, like for this client, we're asking ourselves, okay, so what would it take us to get to 500 signups organically?
Okay, so it has been 4 days since the launch. I'll put some screenshots on the screen. You'll see the results. Already collected more than $30,000 from the event, and obviously we'll keep collecting more because of the monthly revenue. And the reason why I'm recording you this video is to, by the way, the lighting right now is awesome. And answering your question, yes, I'm having a Christmas tree and I will have it until May. I don't care, okay? Now, after each launch, we sit with the team and analyze what are the lessons that we learned from the process. And I would say we've done so many launches that we still have things to learn. We still have SOPs to dial. We still have the processes to master, because our eventual goal is to onboard a client, Okay, so let's say this is the client, and let's say this is the event, okay? And this client only sends us, 10 messages before the event, then shows up, performs, and makes money. Right now, this is not the case. The client still needs to spend some time providing us all the details that we're using to train the AI rep. Even though we are writing all of the copy ourselves, we're having the copywriter, we're also using AI that helps us, but still we want the client to make sure that all the copy is correct. If the client wants to use his own account for the launch, he needs to register them. Again, we're having the SOPs on that, but this is the goal, right? So like this is where we are all headed. And sure, as I said, we do have this as the final goal that we're moving towards, and from each launch we learn what things we can improve. But I don't want to discuss that, you've saw some of the SOPs that we're using. This launch helped me to define an exact sentence of our ideal client, of the ICP for us as an agency, for the one prompt, for the done for you self-selling webinars, okay? And the reason being is because, again, this client was our exact ICP. Even though, as I said, we're usually doing the high ticket product, he was on the lower ticket side, but it actually helped to understand that the pricing of the offer that we are promoting is not as important as the 3 other parameters. Okay, probably 4. So let me try to define it right now. We want to work with B2B experts, one, that can prove the results in one niche with one product. So 4, B2B expert, prove results. So having proven results in the agency, in the info, coaching, consultancy, anything not tangible space. There are so much bullshit. So many people are trying to sell fucking shit, okay? And look, they may have the experience. So we have a lot of clients that come to us and say, hey, listen, I've been in the industry for quite some time and I think I can help people. No, I am actually certain that I can. But the problem is that they don't have the proven results. They have the proven results that it worked for them, for example, right? But they haven't proved it on the market. Can we make the money? Yes. Are we going to be successful in 8 out of 10 cases? Yes. But we want the 10 out of 10 cases. This is why it needs to be a B2B. B2C, again, B2C can work, but B2C is completely different niche. So B2B expert, proven results, one product and one niche. It's extremely valuable, because sure, can you have one product for multiple niches? You can. We had clients that we've been making money that were targeting multiple niches with one of their services, with one of their programs. We had, like, on another spectrum, the clients that had multiple products, multiple different paths that the client from one niche can go into. But it's harder to scale. It's harder to scale to a certain extent, okay? And the reason being is because, again, we're scaling them through the cold outreach, through the ads, and through the right organic posting. And right now, the market is saturated. It doesn't matter kind of what market you're in. And you need to be very, very defined, very clear and sharp with your positioning from the result, from the product standpoint and the niche standpoint. So this is just one realization that I had. Anyways, thank you for watching the video. If you watched till the end, you can let me know in the comments saying, hey, Eugene, I watched till the end. These are the questions that I have. And by the way, just a cool trick for you that I recently learned. Look,